There are some awesome blue items and weapons in Borderlands 3 that I like using more than most of the legendaries in the game, and I would argue that some of them are better too. So in this video I want to highlight some of my favorite blue weapons and items and also where you can get them. So let's get into it. Would be awesome if you could leave a like on the video as it shows your support, and let's go. Let's start with one of my favorite pistols in the game, the Omni Loader, that has an insane handling at 80%, and I was also really surprised by the damage of this thing, melting a lot of the enemies I used it on, even doing some insane damage on the Grave Ward boss too, while this weapon was a lower level than the boss. So that in combination with the great accuracy, the pretty fast rate of fire and that handling, and I really didn't want to switch to another gun when I had this one. The cool part also is that it has a special perk that is really handy for your full arsenal. Whenever you namely reload this weapon, all your other guns in your arsenal will reload too. And this weapon also has an increased reload, so the animation is even shorter, making this unique perk even better. So when you have a great loadout, just use all the weapons until the magazine is empty, switch to the other weapon, and then in the end you get to the Omni Loader, shoot that one time, reload it, and all the other weapons are fully reloaded too. But yeah, again, I love using this weapon for the great damage too, and I really can't wait to get it again through the True Vault Hunter mode that unlocks after you finish the game. It's basically a new game plus mode where you play through the whole story again and then can also pick up these blue items again on the max level. So I would totally say go and play this mode when you are level 50, so that when you do the missions again, you'll immediately get those items on the max level and can start using them for the end game. I really can't wait to grab this weapon again on the True Vault Hunter mode on level 50. You get it from the Family Jewel main mission on Eden 6. It's the Balex mission where you have to fight the evil AI. One of my favorite missions in the game, by the way. So you have to be pretty far on Eden 6 before you can get there, but you will know when you get there. And if you completed the mission, you get this awesome weapon. A unique blue weapon that you can already find really early in the main story is the butt plug. I got it now on level 50 after starting the True Vault Hunter mode from the main menu, and it's really from the first sort of mini boss in Borderlands 3 that can actually also drop legendary guns, like it dropped a legendary gun for me on the True Vault Hunter mode, the Tidal Wave, that shoots these bullets that bounce like waves. And interesting is that I had another variant of this gun, the Heat Wave, so that shoots incendiary damage, and it actually turned into a blue item after the recent hotfix that changed some of the loot drops. Now it's luckily back to being a legendary with better stats as well. Not sure if that happened because I picked up another legendary variant, or if you just have to restart the game to help fix this glitch. But it's an interesting one that I wanted to touch on nevertheless. Either way, let's go back to the butt plug that you get from that boss that you have to shoot in the ass after he's like shaking his ass. Sure, the base damage of this weapon is not that interesting. The weapon actually has minus weapon damage, while it does have a pretty good reload speed. No, you want to use this one for the melee attack. It's increased by 110%, not the most you can have on a weapon, but it is increased even more if you hit the enemy in the back, or in the butt, I mean. With my flag character, you see me kill these COV enemies and skags pretty easily, but this weapon is of course way more interesting when playing as Amara with a melee build. I mean, sure, you already do a ton of melee damage by hitting the enemies from up close, but you do see that increased backstab damage when using the butt plug instead, and while behind a target. A great example here, when you face grasp this enemy, go behind it and kill it with a few hits. It can for sure be pretty hard to get behind the target when playing solo, while in a group there are of course more allies that the enemies can focus on, so then you have more chance to stab them in the back. Because when you succeed, the butt plug is a pretty nice addition. So again, you get it from the dump on dump truck mission that opens up after you unlocked the Catch a Ride on Pandora, so really one of the early missions. Doing it on level 50 on the True Vault Hunter mode gives you the gun on level 50 too, so you can start wrecking and hitting people in the butt if that is what you want. Enemies need to hit you to have the special effect trigger of this awesome unique blue shield called the Sprint Breathing Room Revengeinator. That gives you extra movement speed while the shield is depleted, area knockback damage on shield break, but the cool part is that it will throw a free grenade when your shield is depleted too. So every time your shield breaks, you have this grenade spawn in front of you that is based on your current grenade mod. So great to choose a massive AoE grenade like the Epicenter one that I showcased in my recent best weapons video, because that will spawn these fireballs that will then go in a lot of different directions and hit a ton of enemies. So it doesn't really matter where it spawns from this shield. Or you can use it with the very powerful pipe bomb that melts the enemies, so having a free grenade from that one spawn is great. And it can also help you a lot in the fight for your life mode. Something that will often trigger after your shield breaks. So to then already have that grenade spawn that deals a lot of damage, it will really help you a lot to get the second wind so you get back on your feet again. I got the item on level 32 myself and I can't wait to get it on level 50. We actually do have a screenshot of a level 50 version though from YouTuber Killer6 on Twitter. We'll leave a link to his Twitter page in the description of this video, where we actually see that the shield has some great stats too, with 3282 capacity, a short recharge delay and a pretty high recharging rate. So that on top of this crazy perk makes it a really nice get. It's a random drop, by the way. There does not seem to be a guaranteed way to get this one, so just check for blue shields that drop from enemies or from a chest and then you might find it. I know that Chupa, for example, can drop it on Athena's or the Grave Ward boss too. But again, it's a real drop, so it could really drop anywhere. Yes, you already saw me use it with the shield, and we obviously cannot do a blue items video without the mention of this OP grenade that I think we can use for a few more days after this video goes live, before it gets nerfed to the ground. And then I'm of course talking about the porcelain pipe bomb that I already highlighted in my recent best weapons video and has been famously shared on the internet for more than a week now. Thanks to the insane damage against the Grave Ward boss, for example, that just dies after a few throws, but actually every big enemy that doesn't move a lot will just melt from the smaller grenades that appear after you throw this bomb. This week, so the week of September 23rd, we should expect the first update for Borderlands 3 that should improve the performance, like the laggy menus and the frame drops that also sometimes occur, especially when using this grenade, for example. So I totally think that after you download that update, that this grenade is done and will likely be pretty useless compared to other legendary grenades. Although I hope I'm wrong. I mean, right now it's of course way too powerful, but it would be cool if after the update it was still a fun and viable option while playing through most of the game, just like the other blue items that I mentioned here in this video. Of course, if you're totally unfamiliar, you can get this item after you completed the main missions on Eden 6. Some people got this Raiders of the Lost Rock mission from Claptrap on Sanctuary, but I found it on a bounty board in the Reliance camp in the Floodmore Basin region. Just follow that, pick up the pieces in Embermire, fight the King Jabber enemy at the end, then go back to Reliance to complete the mission, and then the grenade is yours. I mean, if you don't have it yet and want to experience the true but broken power, then you really only got a few days. Unless Gearbox does not nerf this grenade, but I totally think they will. This video was only focused on the blue items, by the way, but I will totally be looking at other unique items for a future video. If you got some favorite unique items that are not legendary, then totally drop it down below, and of course also let me know where you found them so I can try and get them if I don't have them yet. Already got some items on the radar, but your input is as always more than welcome. You can also email me to the input@JorRaptor.com email address. Subscribe for everything Borderlands 3 if you haven't already. I will keep you up to date on all the updates and DLCs and bring you way more guides like this video to support channel. And you can watch my previous video on the best legendary farm tactics that are in the game right now by clicking on the screen. Or watch us open a golden chest first to see if we can get a legendary. I will link to all the other videos at the end of the golden key opening as well. Yes, Dennis, you don't see it, or actually you do maybe a little, but that galaxy skin I got on my Infinity, it's really nuts.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I got it on other weapons too, it looks amazing.
Also, your new pet looks great too.
Yeah.
Very colorful.
But let's open a golden chest. I of course shared a ton of golden keys in a recent video. Hopefully we get some. Being good.
No.
A relic though?
Just purples.
Max health now. I mean, I think we just had too much luck the last couple of times.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
but it might come back, you never know.
Yeah, maybe it will come back when they maybe nerf the drop rates for all the other activities in the game.
Let's give some love to the chest.
Yeah. For now though, subscribe for everything Borderlands free if you haven't already. Again, let me know your blue items that you are using or other unique items. We want to highlight them in a future video. And check out that previous video on some golden keys if you want to open these golden chests yourself. Or on the best weapons that we will likely be updating very soon with a new golden best weapons video. So keep it locked for that. For now though, we will speak to you next time and goodbye.